All right, thank you all for your patience. Good afternoon. Welcome to the November 14th, 2023 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Ms. Cobb, would you please call roll?
Dominic Epps.
Here.
Richard Eslick.
Here.
Shante Hall.
Here.
Corey Cornegay.
Here.
Melissa Venable.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Terrific. Are there any corrections to the previous BZA minutes? If not, may I have a motion to accept?
Motion for accept.
And a
For approval.
second?
Second.
All approved, verbally say yay or nay.
Yay.
Yay.
The minutes are approved. Thank you. Our first and only agenda item this afternoon is BZA 32-2023, 312 East Washington Street, Dallas Ellis, on behalf of the United Full Gospel Revival Center. Ms. Cobb, would you please read the caption?
Before the Board of Zoning Appeals today is BZA 32-2023. The applicant Dallas Ellis, on behalf of United Full Gospel Revival Center, is requesting a variance to reduce the required rear yard setback from 25 feet to 10.3 feet for a new modular building. The property is identified as tax map 34G6, parentheses 1, parentheses A, asterisk 1, asterisk 2, asterisk 3, asterisk 4, addressed as 312 East Constance Road, zoning classification residential medium density. When you act on this request, you will be acting on a request to reduce the required rear yard setback from 25 feet to 10.3 feet for a new modular building. Should the board decide in favor of approving this request, the 8 findings as listed in your package must be articulated as part of the motion. We will now have staff analysis and recommendation by Melvia Knight, Assisting Zoning Administrator.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice, Board members, Zoning Administrator, faculty, and guests. My name is Melvion Knight, and I am the Assistant Zoning Administrator for the City of Suffolk. Today, I'll be presenting Staff Report BZA 32-2023. Applicant Dallas Ellis on behalf of the United Full Gospel Revival Center. The applicant Dallas Ellis, on behalf of the United Full Gospel Revival Center, is requesting a variance from the Unified Development Ordinance, Article 4, Section 31-407, Table 407-1, parentheses C, Dimensional Standards, parentheses M, to reduce the required rear yard setback from 25 feet to 10.3 feet for a new modular building. The property is identified as tax map and parcel 34G6, parentheses 1C, asterisk 1, asterisk 2, asterisk 3, asterisk 4, asterisk 5, located at 312 East Constance Road, Suffolk, Virginia. Suffolk Voting Borough, zoning classification RM, residential medium. The variance request was advertised in the Suffolk News Herald, and a notice was mailed to adjacent property owners in accordance with Section 15.2-2204 of the Code of Virginia, and a public notice sign was posted on the property pursuant to the request of the zoning administrator. The applicant states the current use of the building is occupied by a place of worship which dates back to 1974. Over the years, the primary facility has saw an increase in the number of attendees and searched for an alternative solution to managing the growth of the congregation. The church received an accessory building as a donation to aid in the need for additional space. The placement of the modular building was installed on the western portion of the lot, which is considered the side yard. Following an inquiry from a concerned citizen, the zoning inspectors for the Community Development Division conducted a site inspection for the new addition to 312 East Constance Road. The inspection led staff to find that the accessory building was not properly permitted prior to the placement of the structure on the site, which failed to meet the rear yard setbacks for the RM zoning district. From the start of the investigation, the building code and zoning ordinance regulations were stated as possible concerns for the modular building. Staff spoke with Mr. Ellis and other representatives of the church on the dimensional requirements for lots in the RM zoning district. Although the lot complies with the requirements of Table 407-1, the placement of the modular building fails to meet the required rear yard setback of 25 feet. City staff reviewed other options to prevent the submission of the request for a variance to the Board of Zoning Appeals. However, no options were available to prevent possible encroachment into the rear yard setback, or grant a reduction administratively. The property to the north and to the west of the building are under the same ownership as the place of worship. However, if the place of worship were to expand the footprint of the main building or relocate the modular building to the lots under the same ownership, the applicant would create a major impact to an area protected by the 100-foot buffer, the resource protection area of the Chesapeake Bay Preservation Area. Due to those findings presented, staff recommends approval of this request. The illustration that we have on the monitor would be the same illustration that we have within our package, which is a color illustration for the church. On the information that was provided, the modular home does not have any impact to the existing parking that's on the site. And then it also shows the approximate buffer area going along the rear portion of the building. Staff is available for any questions that the board may have, and the applicant is also present for questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Knight. Are there any questions for Melvion before she sits down? Thank you. We will now open the public hearing. Hearings are 30 minutes in length, 10 minutes for the proponent, 15 minutes for any opposition, and 5 minutes for rebuttal. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Good afternoon. If you'd please give us your name and address.
Yes, my name is Dallas Ellis Jr., pastor of the church. And what else did you need?
Address.
Of the property?
Typically, yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
That's
312 East Constance Road.
Perfect, thank
But
you.
I do reside in Suffolk, too, if you need the other address as well.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. I just wanted to say one thing. First of all, I just thank y'all for the opportunity just to come before you this morning. I definitely I want to thank Ms. Melvion Knight, who's been wonderful, just trying to assist us and bring clarity to what I'm trying to do and what the church is trying to do. The church has been there since, I want to say about 1974. We actually took possession of it, and it was either 2001, 2002. I can't remember right now. But as she was stating, you know, it has a basement. We have a fellowship hall downstairs. We have a sanctuary. We have an office. We have a church conference room. But we don't have a place for our children, such as Sunday school classes, place for the children to meet at, as well as we don't have an administrative office. And that's the whole purpose of the module. It was actually donated to us from Stonebridge Elementary over in Chesapeake. They graciously gave that to me because of the fact that they're adding on to their school building as we speak. Just to kind of give you a little backdrop about concerning the permit, I should have got the permit first. I'm going to be honest with you. I had 24 hours to make a decision. They said, hey, either we need to get it off our lot so that the new company could come in and do what they needed to do, or we're going to have to tear it down. You know, one thing I preached to our people at our congregations about being good citizens. So by no ways was I trying to break the law or anything like that. It was just I had to make an executive decision, and it was going to be a blessing to our church. And so I'm here today to ask that y'all would just grant this to us. It would be a blessing to us. Again, it's on our property. It's on the asphalt. There's no plumbing being hooked up. The only thing we just need access to, of course, is electricity and those things of that nature. But it would be a tremendous addition to us, simply for the fact just to be able to have a church office and to have 2 classrooms for our children. So that's all it is. So I thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. And I just hope that you grant us the approval. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Is there anyone else to speak in favor of this application? I'm sorry. No? Seeing none, is there anyone to speak in opposition of this application? Sir, was there anything you wanted to add?
No,
Okay, thank you so much. Seeing no opposition and no additional comments, that will close the public hearing. Are there any questions for the applicant, or a motion, or a discussion of the motion?
I know it would be a hardship if they did move the modular home because of that.
RPA area?
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be a very hardship. So I'm gonna recommend for approval for that.
A second.
We have a recommendation for approval and a second. Any discussion of the motion? If not, Ms. Cobb, would you please call for a vote?
Dominic Epps,
Yes.
Richard Eslick,
Yes.
Shante Hall,
Yes.
Corey Cornegay,
Yes.
Melissa Venable.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Congratulations. We're excited to see your growth. Is there any additional, anything else we need to know? Anything additional today?
We will be having a meeting next month.
Terrific. Thank you so much for attending today. That adjourns our November 14th, 2023 BZA meeting.